Took about a week to set up an appointment with a local Bimmertech installer, and I was able to get the new camera installed. All went in fine, pretty straightforward. The car is all fine. They were able to get everything routed and out of sight, and really it looks just like it was put in at the factory. So I'll show you what it looks like here on the inside, and then just a couple of tips too on how you can make adjustments that can be helpful in getting the guidance lines the way that you want them. So this is a manual transmission, but it doesn't matter what kind you have. If you have the OEM integration, when you put the car into reverse, then the camera display comes right up. You see a little bit of strobing on the cell phone camera, but you really don't see that on the screen. It's just the way these LED screens work. So as you can see, as I back up, you can get good sense for the image back there, and as you can see, as I turn the steering wheel, you get the guidance lines. The one issue with the camera, which is a small thing, is that the full lock guidance line actually turns a little bit further than the yellow line even on full lock. So if I put this over to full lock, you'll see it doesn't quite line up with that purple full lock line, but the yellow line is pretty accurate. If you follow that, you're going to end up where it shows you on the image. Also, you'll see here, and I'll move in a little bit closer, all of your BMW built-in controls all function just fine. If you want to change your contrast, you can. Whatever you need to do to get a good image, and you can turn the parking lines on and off. This car doesn't have sensors. I didn't do the upgrade, so the sensors don't show up there. So all in all, it works really well. The guidance lines work well. The one issue that I had with mine was that the guidance lines were quite narrow. I've got them lined up now where they're just on the outside of the wheels. So if I line that yellow line up just in from a curb, then I know my wheel's going to be inside the curb. There's a fairly easy way to make these adjustments that I'll show you. If you hold down the volume button on the radio and the eject button, which I'll do now, then you'll get this menu system here on the screen, and as you change the volume control, you can navigate the menu. So what you want to do before you do this is set your audio input to the auxiliary input so that you won't get blasted by the radio, and take your CD out if you've got one, since you're using the eject button. And then by clicking in on the volume, so if I turn the volume button, you'll see that will move, and then if I click in on the volume button, then I'll select the option. So what you want to do is go to parking lines, and then here you can change the vehicle parameters, and you've got a couple of things here. Turn quotient adjusts how far the yellow guidance lines turn with the steering wheel input. I found the default was just fine on the F30 of 0.85. And the vehicle tire width and distance. The tire distance is the one you want to change, and it moves those yellow lines in and out. So for my F30, this setting here, about 450, worked really well and put the lines just outside. Then the other thing that you want to do is, because the camera sits to the side of the trunk release, the lines end up being very slightly offset from dead center because the camera is not dead center. So fortunately they give you a way to deal with that as well. So you have to go back a menu, and you just hit the power and eject buttons again, takes you back at a menu. And here, if I go back to parking lines and then camera parameters, so the horizontal offset is the one you want to use. The center offset will be your vertical offset. Horizontal offset, I've got mine here set to 85, and that gives me the lines centered. So if there's something dead center between those lines, it'll be dead center of the vehicle. So it's really easy to make these adjustments after the installation. It's great to have these menus. Whenever you're done with a setting, just hit that power and eject button again, and you'll get rid of the menu, and you'll also save the settings, and then they'll stay for next time. So just finally here, I'll show you the installation. You can see here's the replacement trunk handle, and there's the camera right there. Those are the lights for the license plate. So looking from the rear of the vehicle, you can get a sense. It really does look just like it came from the factory. Fits in really well. The trunk handle works just fine. It's a little bit stiffer than the default one, but no issue whatsoever, and the comfort access and the other features all still work fine. So all in all, great product, great result, really happy with it. The Bimmertech guys are super helpful, and definitely recommended.